I've been going through, I don't know if this is what it's called or this is what I think it is, but I think I'm going through seasonal depression. It's something that just happens every year at this specific time of the year. And I only just actually picked it up now because, like, I've always known that, like, really, when it's like April, May, June, July, August, I'm just so, but I didn't know what to call it. I didn't even know if it was a thing. But now I actually realized that, like, it could be a thing because someone said that they have seasonal depression and that happens every time at the end of the year because, like, they just tired and, like, they're just out of it. So I just thought, yeah, okay, mine is not at the end of the year, but I feel this every time at the same time of the year, every year, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm really trying to fight it because what happens is that, like, I just get discouraged. I just get, like, I just don't feel like doing anything. Like my will to be alive is just non-existent. So yeah, this year I just want to try to, like, push through that still. Like, I'll still feel the same, but I want to deal with it differently because in the past few years, like, I would just sit and, like, let it happen and be like, okay, I'm in the States, I'm not gonna move until it's springtime, and I feel like the sun really does a lot for me. Like, the sun makes me feel alive. Like, it makes me feel encouraged, and the minute it gets cold, I'm just like, is life worth living? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking about social media and the influence that it has on us when it comes to relationships, how we view relationships, how we go about relationships, and specifically, like, romantic relationships, and the whole standard thing, and, like, self-worth, blah, 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 blah. I've been wanting to talk about it for a while now, but I kind of had to, like, gather my thoughts and see how I really feel about it, and also just, like, see vele vele on social media is that what I'm seeing vele vele is what is happening, so now I'm glad I can finally talk about it. I'm so excited. So when I was younger, ever since I've been me for as long as I can remember, I've always thought that I could never get into a relationship because I don't have my life together. Like, I don't have a car, I don't have a house, I don't have a job. Like, like, when I was younger, I felt like you needed to have all of those things in order to get into a relationship, because I felt like if I don't have those things, like, if I'm not stable, then what am I giving to the other person? Like, what am I bringing to the table, sort of. So that's why, like, I was saying with my friend in the other video that, like, we didn't date in high school because it was like, we don't have anything. Like, why are you dating? Like, what am I gonna do with another person, because I haven't even gathered myself, I don't even know who I am. But apart from that, like, I don't have anything that is mine that I can share with you, like, that can make our relationship easier, it can make it more fun and stuff like that. So yeah, I always thought that I'll date after high school, and when I have my own place, so that we can I can come over, or I can go over, or, like, we have a car so that we can go to places. Like, I always felt like it should be like that, and I never really thought that it should come from the man. I just thought that I need to have it, like, so yeah, that really contributed to me also, like, holding back, because even after high school, when I felt like, okay, now I'm done with school, I'm finished, like, my report is great, I can focus on building relationships with other people, I still was hesitant to get into a serious relationship, because I'm like, okay, I'm still working, but I don't have anything yet. Like, I just started working, I need to, like, it's only a couple of years where I'll be able to afford this and this and this and this, and then I can date. So then now the other girls are like, when why are you not dating, whatever, and I would be like, I'm not ready, whatever, I'm still, like, trying to work, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, whatever, and they're like, no, you don't have to, like, have it together. Like, men don't care about that. Like, you can just be yourself, and a man will take you and want to be with you. And yeah, so they were saying that, like, men don't care about those things. Like, they don't care if a woman has a car or has her own place or has a career. Like, they just want someone that is beautiful and, you know, someone that respects them, and like, you know, they feel like they can talk to and have like, it's all the internal things, like, you know, someone that they can feel free with. That's all they want. Like, they don't care because they are the ones that have those things. Like, men are the ones that strive to get those things so that they can get us. So you don't have to have it to have him, you know. He has to have it to have you. Basically, that's how it was. So I was like, oh, okay, because when I started talking to guys, like, they felt like, oh, you're good enough, like, you know, you're fine, there's nothing missing, you have a great personality, like, let's go, like, you know. But I always felt like, no, but like, you know, I feel like I'd be more confident, you know, because I have my own things, like, you know, I've got something to stand on, I'm bringing something to the table. That's how I felt at that time. But then when I saw that, no man, these girls are right, these men, they don't care, they come as you are, you know, they're the ones that have these things. Like, we could be the same age, but a man will already have a car before me, like, you know. Or you attract guys that are older, so they already have their things together, so don't worry about that. All they want from you is for you to be beautiful and to love one another. That's it. In the back of my mind though, even though like I saw that, oh, okay, there's not much pressure for me because I'm a woman, like, I have it easy, like, I can just date anytime I want, I can date whoever I want, basically. Still at the back of my mind, I felt like, but I would still like to have them though. Like, okay, you don't require them for me, whatever, but I would still like to have them because I also want to make the relationship easier. Like, I also want to, you know, because it's cool if one of us has it, but it's so much better if we both do. Like, you know, like, it's more fruitful, and I feel like I'm more useful. Like, you know, you're not the one doing everything that is financial, and like, you know, and I'm just there saying I love you and all of those things. So I was like, okay, cool, that's fine, but I would love to have them still. So now lately I've been, because social media like just became a thing like a couple of years ago, like, you know, like social media has been there for a long time, but it's only been a couple of years where like we've been awakened to social media and we're very conscious of it, and like we're very influenced by it. So when I'm seeing on social media, like on Twitter, girls are like, you know, my standards are high, self-worth, I was always wondering, like, what are these girls talking about? Because at first I thought that self-worth and like having high standards is saying that like I won't allow a man to treat me like this, or I won't allow to not be appreciated. I won't, like, you know, I want a man that understands me, like, you know, I want a man that will take me seriously, that is intentional about me, that, like, you know, sees me as the whole world and is willing to, like, you know, commit to me and stuff like that. Like, that's what I thought high standards were. Like, that's what I thought when you say self-worth, honey, like, that's what she meant. Okay, so now as I'm like reading deeper into it, I can see that no man, these standards and the self-worth wara is very monetary. Like, it's very money based, because like they would make examples of like, he picks me up from blah 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 blah, and, you know, takes me to a date, whatever. Oh, he picks me up from work because he doesn't want me to take taxis, blah 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 blah. And it'll be like, okay, that's cool, your man, like, you know, thinks about you, he's considerate, and he's using whatever he has to, like, you know, to make your life easier. And that's another thing, like, when they talk about he has to make my life easier, you know, I thought about, you know, he's very considerate, like anything that he can do to make sure that you're not stressed, or to relieve you, whatever, mentally, emotionally, and also like materially here and there, then he's gonna do it. But then now as I'm reading deeper into it, I'm like, no man, these girls, it's mostly about money. So for example, there was a tweet where this lady was like, okay, we're tired of hearing, you know, what the bad things that men are doing to women. Now we want to hear, like, you know, the good men. Like, ladies, what is your man doing for you? What are you appreciating about him? Like, share those type of stories. And when I was, because I'm interested in things like that, like, I want to see how, you know, people move in their relationships, and, you know, like what is expected and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, let me read through this thread. The girls are commenting, and the things that they were saying were not what I thought they were gonna say. Like, you know, a lot of them were like, he booked me a trip to England. He bought me this. Oh, he gave me this much money. And like, you know, all of it was the man giving money, the man using money to please them. It wasn't emotional, it wasn't convenience. Like in life now, as we're doing life, how is this man making your life beautiful? But these girls are not saying that. Like, these girls are saying, he bought me a Louis Vuitton bag, whatever, and they would always end it with, sis, don't settle. Like, yeah, I'm never settling again, because now I found a man that, hey, when I say left we go, when I say right we go, book me 5 trips to what. You know, it's always like this man is throwing out money like this and this, and that is how the girls view it, as a high standard. Like, this is me living in a world of high standard. So my problem is that we're starting to see that as love. We're starting to see trips to, what are those vacation places, Bora, what, you know, man, these places that people like to go to for holidays, vacations, whatever. We're starting to associate that with love. Like, if I don't get Louis Vuitton, if he doesn't book my flights and take me way spontaneously 5 times a year, then if I don't get flowers every week, if he doesn't buy me shoes, and like, you know, if he doesn't make my life easier in that way, then that's not love. Like, sis, you need to get out of that relationship. You're settling for less. There's other men that are gonna pay for your life. You know, others are like, he pays for my petrol, he does this, and it's like, so if your man is unable to do that, then he doesn't love you. Like, if he just buys you KFC once a week, he takes you out to KFC and you have nice food, and that's what he can afford, then sis, you're settling for less because you can get more. Like, your standards are low. Other women don't have the confidence to say, yo, I know that this man loves me because every time he gets paid month end, he buys me like a bag or something from Legit. And you know, I appreciate it so much, because people are gonna look at you and be like, a bag from Legit, that's what you're happy about, that's what you call love, that's what you appreciate. No, sis, like, these men that are doing more, these men that are doing better, and you start not feeling content in your own relationship because you're comparing it with what people on social media say. At this point, I really feel sorry for men that date like influencers, like the hands that are on social media, and like, you know, people are watching them, and you know, their lives seem very, like, you know, extravagant, because there's so much pressure. Like, on Valentine's Day, you have to do the most, because that girl has to post and say, hey, look at what my man did, and it has to be here. It can't just be in jail playing things, like, you know. So you have to know that if you want to go to those type of girls, you have to have money. So there was this one girl on social media that was like, she's a social media influencer. She was dating this other guy, so she was always like posting Gucci bags, whatever, 5 million thousand roses, vacations, whatever. And then now, when they broke up, she made a video of this guy. Turns out that this guy was broke AF, and she was the one that was paying for all of these things. She was the one that was buying herself these flowers, buying herself, taking herself to these trips, but then bringing him along. And also, the clothes that this guy was wearing was all her. Like, it was literally all her, but she couldn't accept this guy the way that he is, or like accept whatever he could offer her, because she had a standard to live up to. Like, she had a standard of Gucci, Chanel. If it's not that, then it's nothing. So she even had to do it herself. Imagine that amount of pressure. Like, imagine how crazy it is to have standards that are based on social media. It's so crazy. Like, you're breaking up with your boyfriend of 5 years over standards that girls on social media made, but they don't even live them in real life. Like, they're not actually living that in real life. And when they do find a man that is taking them, booking them to flights and taking them everywhere they want to go, it always never lasts. Like, do you understand? It's always short-lived, because you're like, oh, okay, she's dating someone. Next minute she's like, oh guys, being single is the pits, whatever. They just don't last. Like, they don't last. And I understand that, like, there's some men that are just not trying to live that life. You know what I mean? And I feel like also men sort of take an advantage because they want to be associated with those girls, like, yeah, to say, yeah, I was with her, or yeah, I smashed, or yeah, whatever, for those couple of months, but they don't see a life with them because they know that this is not life. This is not life. I have things to do. I can't be dating this person to prove a point so that they can also stand there and prove a point to everybody else. Like, do you understand? It's very fake, very inauthentic, very people pleasing. There's also this other couple, I'm not gonna mention names, and this guy, oh yeah, I know that relationship is so funny to me. So this guy has money, and apparently, like, he's a scammer, whatever, that's where he gets his money. So he has a girlfriend and he's always spoiling her. Recently he bought her a car, I think for her birthday, a Mercedes, like a red Mercedes, whatever. That man Gucci, there's nothing that man can afford. Always showering that girl with things. And now what I noticed about it, and everyone is like, yo, to have a man like that, yo, this girl is so lucky. Like, everyone just loses their minds over this couple because they are it. Money-wise, they are it. So now what I realized about that relationship is that this guy, every time he does something for this girl, he buys her whatever, or he takes her to whatever, he posts it on social media and he talks about how other men can't do it. Like, you see, yeah, I bought my girl a car, whatever, you small boys could never. Like, you know, I took her this, I did this. Look at the receipts, you know, showing bank accounts and, you know, receipts from Gucci that this was how much, or like, we went to this Airbnb, you paid 86,000. Like, he's constantly showing receipts. So he's gonna post, yo, me and my girl went, wait. Then after that, it's receipts on receipts of how everything costs and how, at the end of the day, other men could never. And he's like, yeah, you small boys, I'm still gonna show you, whatever. And to me, it's like, so all of these things that you're doing are not for this girl. They're to prove a point. Because he never writes captions like, I love you so much, thank you for everything that you do for me, thank you for believing in me. Like, you know, all of those things that make a relationship very solid. Things that are like her personality, her character, and how the relationship is emotionally, mentally. No, he never, like, not even once, guys. Not even once. All he ever talks about is how much it was and how other men could never. And people reacting to those Instagram stories is shocking to me because they're like, yo, if I could find a man like this, and they can't even see that he's not even doing it for her. He's not even doing it for her. Like, what are you admiring in that relationship? And it's even funny because she always just reposts whatever he posts. Like, she never posts about, yo, like, look what he did for me, yo, I love you, thank you, babe. She's just always reposting whatever he's posting with his long ass captions, talking to other men and how they are useless and they could never be as great as him and could never afford the things that he affords. She just screenshots and it's like, thank you, babe, and that's all. And people, they are like, yo, relationship goals, whatever, and they admire it so much. And I'm like, is that admirable? Like, is that what social media wants? Is that what social media calls love? Is that what we have, the new age definition of love and a relationship? Is that what it is? Because now it means that those girls are looking at their boyfriends like, we're on Valentine's Day, we're gonna be at your place, you're gonna put 5 roses and whatever. Me, I want a love like this one and this one and this one. And now you're feeling, what's the opposite of content? You're not feeling content, let me say it like that. Like, you're not feeling content in where you are and who you have chosen. Because I feel like when you meet someone and you fall for them, it's because of their personalities, because of their efforts, it's because of their consistency. And then now all of a sudden you're seeing other people living a life on social media. To me, that thing is not pleasant. Like, I don't look at their relationship and be like, yo, this relationship goes. Instead, I'm disgusted because I'm like, there's no way a man is gonna use me to fight a battle with other men, to prove a point to other men and to the people around him. Like, there's no way. When is it going to be about me? Because that's what I want. I want a relationship that is between me and you, and a relationship that feeds me spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. So if you're gonna do all of these things on the outside, but on the inside there's nothing. Futi Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are a perfect example. Kanye West can buy Kim Kardashian the whole world. He can do anything and everything. But Kim Kardashian was only crying for, we don't brush teeth together in the morning. I don't get to wake up and see you. I don't get to talk to you for hours and hours and hours. Do you understand that? It's not in the money. Like, I don't understand why people are so attracted to that. The people that even have money are not even happy in it. The fact that he can book stadiums and whatever, and she still doesn't feel content. She still doesn't feel happy. She still doesn't feel loved. Because to other people, it's like, that's love. He bought you a stadium and closed it down, and he bought you a hotel. Then why are you not feeling love? This man loves you. No, that's not what it is. So I don't understand why people are so attracted to that. Or do you want to get there before you realize that it's not it? I'm even going to make an example with myself, ne? I don't know what year was this. I think it was 2021. Like the beginning of 2021. I met this other guy. That guy had money. Like when I saw him, I didn't think that he had money, because he was just like he just looked like a normal guy, whatever. So he's like, he wants my number, whatever. So I gave him my number, sharp. And then when we were talking, he was always like, what do you want? What do you want to eat? What do you want? Like, for yourself, I can get it for you. I can get anything. That man used to child. Anything that I wanted, I could get. But I felt very restricted to the things that I could ask for, because I live with my parents, and imagine my parents seeing me holding plastics every day of things, clothes, bags, and all of those things. Like, where are they gonna say they come from? Like, it's gonna be very suspicious. And they know that yes, I work, but I can't afford all of those things. So where are they coming from? So I always had to like do things that don't chambisa. But that man was like, he was always needy at work, Mr. D, coming, money in my bank account, e-wallets every day. I was even ordering lunch for my colleagues, like, hey, we were living the life, e-wallets every day. And I really just stacked up all of that money, and I was like, okay, I have to keep it and eat it bit by bit, so that it's not very obvious that I'm living a flashy life. But the thing about that, like, that was nice, because you don't want to pay for your own things. Like, you don't want to use your money. There was a point where I wasn't even using my salary. Like, it would just get out, it was just sit there. I was using this on the side, living my best life. But then the thing about that is that this guy wasn't trying to get to know me. Like, I don't even understand what he was trying to do when he was even asking for my number, because you just asked for my number so that you can splash me with money. Is that what you wanted? Because he would never say things like, how are you, like, have conversations. The only thing he would say was, good morning, what do you want to eat today? How much do you want? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? I'll send you money. How much money do you want? Like, that's the only conversation that we had. And there was a point where I would just not respond. When he's like, how much do you want? I just keep quiet and not saying anything, because I was tired of that. Like, I was so bored with that. Like, you're just here to give me money. Like, yes, that is lovely. Like, sometimes as girls, we're like, sometimes I just want to meet someone that's not going to want anything from me. Just give me money. But when you actually get into the situation, you're like, no, man, I'm not, are you buying me? Like, what is happening? I'm a person. Like, I'm a person, and I want you to show genuine interest in me, because that's what's going to make the relationship, not you always asking me every day, how much do I want, whatever. So then now I'm telling my colleagues, because obviously, they're enjoying the money, they're enjoying the benefits. They're like, no, don't even, because I was like, I'm ending this thing. Whatever this thing is, it's not even a relationship, it's just a man that wakes up every day and asks me what I want today. And another thing, before I get there, another thing was that he was very controlling of what I could do with the money when it came to my hair and clothes. So he'd be like, no, don't buy wigs, don't braid your hair, I want your hair natural. And then if I buy clothes, those clothes are too revealing. So it was like, what exactly am I supposed to do with this money? I must do what you want me to do with it. I must do what pleases you. You're saying it's mine, but I must do what pleases you. There's no way, sir. Like, that man was controlling. Like, I would take pictures and be like, look at what I bought today. And you'd be like, that thing's too revealing. I don't like it. Oh, and I'm like, yo, look at what this hairstyle, I'm gonna do this hairstyle this month. And be like, no, keep your hair natural. Like, can't you do something more natural? So I was like, when you met me with braids and I was living my life, and then now you want to control me and make me something else. I was like, no, sir. You see, this is the point where you're gonna take your money and you're gonna keep it. So now I'm telling my colleagues, like, hey, this guy is controlling me, I wanna leave him. They're like, hey, why? Then I told them, then they're like, yo, why is he doing that? Yo. But hanging there. And also for me, I felt like, yo, I must hang in there, because now what am I gonna do without all of this money? I was so used to living a life of abundance. Like, I never had to think about money and be like, yo, I need to save here. I could just do whatever I want whenever I wanted. Like, life was so easy. But then now it's like, yo, now I must lose it all just because I feel like I'm not genuinely wanted, like I'm not genuinely pursued or genuinely cared for, like, you know. But then I was like, but this thing feels so empty. Like, this is not me, this is not my personality. Like, these are not the things that matter to me the most. Like, these are not the things that please me. Like, yes, they're nice to have, but they wouldn't make me want to be with you. Do you understand? Like, you could give me them, but I would still say no, because they don't matter that much. And I know that there's other girls that are okay with it. Like, they could be in a relationship with a man they're not attracted to, or they don't see a future with them, but because there's money, they're gonna stick it through. Like, because there's money, I'm gonna stick it through. I don't care if you don't talk to me or whatever. It's fine. As long as there's money, I'm gonna stick through it. And that's not me. So I was like, I'm leaving this relationship. I had my own money before, and yes, some of the things I couldn't afford them by myself, but I'd rather not have them then. Like, I'd rather go back to a low standard. I'd rather go back to not having as much as I have now. I lived at that time. Like, I didn't die, so I won't die. Like, you know, I'll live again. I'll do the same hairstyles that I was doing. I'll do my hair again. I'll do my nails again. Like, you know, I can afford it for myself, but it's nice to have, but I'd rather not have if it comes at that price. That price is too high for me to pay. Like, the price is too high. If I'm losing myself, or I feel like I'm not emotionally fed and someone is not investing in me mentally, then that price is too high, because my mental state and my emotional well-being is very, very important to me. Who I am is very important to me. So if you're saying, those things don't matter, then your price is too high. I have to go. In conclusion, I want to say that it is very important to know who you are. Like, you have to know who you are, like, deep, and you need to stand in that, because if you don't know who you are, you're gonna go with everything that's on social media. You're gonna go with whatever is in these days. You're gonna go with whatever someone else is telling you about how you're supposed to live your life, or how you're supposed to navigate relationships, or what type of men you should want, and you know, all of those things. And knowing yourself allows you to be solid. You understand? It allows you to be solid, and it allows anything that doesn't align with you to be filtered out. Like, it will just filter out, because you know what you want and you know where you're going. So I think that when I think of myself, like, when I thought of that, when I had that mentality at the young age, that like, I want my own things and I want to feel like I can contribute into a relationship, I was right. There was nothing wrong with that. Yes, technically, in general, men don't care about that, whatever, but I care about it. And I feel like I'm reviving that thing back again, to say that I still want to contribute something more in a relationship. I still want to have my own things, and it's not even so that I can feel worthy in a relationship anymore. No, it's because I want to feel good about myself, because that makes me feel good. Like, when I'm independent and I have my own things and I'm pushing my own life and I'm moving forward, like, it makes me feel good. Like, it makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel fulfilled. That's what it is. So yes, I might find a man that has money. He doesn't really need my money, but me, in my own right, in my own life, in my own heart, I feel content that hey, I was able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm able to do 6, 7, and 8. This is mine. This is something that I'm doing. This is something that I love. This is something that I'm pushing, you know? And I kind of want to be like, I kind of want my man to also be like, you know what, my woman is always encouraging me. She's always pushing me to do better. She's like, you know, she makes those little sacrifices to make sure that our home is what you know. She also buys me things. She, you know, takes me places. She does this. Those are the things that I want. Like, I feel like that is going to be so fulfilling for me. Like, I don't want to always be the one that's saying, oh, he did this and this and this and this and this. Vele, he's gonna do more. Like, he's gonna do more than me, because, like, you know, men are just so good at like giving and just doing the most for a woman. But I feel like I also want him to be able to say something and say that, you know what, this woman, she reciprocates. Yes, she doesn't do as much as me, but she reciprocates. Like, I can feel that I'm loved. I can feel that I'm appreciated. I can feel that, like, you know, social media, it's not real. It's not real. And I feel like I wish that people could understand that and know where you're going. Like, if you're meeting someone and you have things that you like about them, okay, this is what I want in a relationship. These are the standards that I have for myself. And this is where I see myself going with this person. You need to be patient with that. If you guys have the same vision, he's trying to start something or he's working towards something, you need to be patient with that, okay? Yeah, my man can't afford A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but I know where he's going. My man can't do ABC. In our relationship, we don't have a car, or in our relationship, we can't take vacations, but I know where we're going. I know this man, like, I can still feel that this man loves me. I can still feel that this man is trying to make me happy. I can still feel that this man is trying to make my life easier. For me, I would even say that, like, I think about the people that live in the shacks, you know? I think I heard a story about this woman that worked in town, whatever, but she was living in a shack and her husband wasn't working. And what the husband would do is he would wake up every day with her when she went to work, and he would walk her. And it was like was it 15-minute walk? I think 15-minute or 20-minute walk, and he would walk her every day. He would wake up in the morning and would warm the water for her so that she can bath. Like, he would wake up every day with her, make sure that she has her things ironed to go to work. And for me, that is like, damn, that man loves you. But on social media, it's like, hey, why doesn't he have a car to take you there? Or why are you not a stay-at-home mom so that he can, like, you know, you won't feel like you're being loved because there's no money. We are struggling. That man is making her life easier by doing all of those things. He doesn't have to make her life easier by buying her a car. That's not the true definition of making her life easier. The true definition of making her life easier is what I can do with what we have, and me putting in effort, you know, to help you into whatever you're doing. That's him making her life easier. So I feel like everything is just so money-based. Like, people are just feeling, and all the real authentic things, the things that love is, are not seen as love because they don't have money in it, you know? So yeah, me, I'm not about it. I don't care. Like, I'm not about it. I don't care. Yes, I want a life that is whatever I want, but I'm gonna work towards it and I'm gonna get it. But I'm not gonna base my whole life on that. And I'm not gonna try and prove a point that I'm loved and want people to see me being loved if I'm being bought a Range Rover. If you don't think that I'm being loved just because my man didn't buy me a Range Rover, then that's your problem. Me, I know what I'm doing with this man, and I know what this man does for me, and I'm content in that. So yeah, anyways, that's just me. Like, I hope this made sense. I hope there's people that can resonate and can feel me, because I feel like, we are very few that feel this way. Because when you're there on social media, this doesn't matter. What I'm saying right now, it doesn't matter because people don't care about that. I've met so many guys that could really give me a soft life, but because that's not what I care about, that's not what I prioritize, I was willing to reject it if I felt like this man wasn't giving, like, you know, didn't make me feel like I can talk to him, or like didn't give me his time and stuff like that. Then I'd be like, no. You know, if I felt like we're not in the same level mentally, then it's like, no. And yes, your money is nice, but no. Like, you know, I'm willing, and I've done it many times, and I will continue doing that. So yeah, I don't know at what extent people are willing to go to keep themselves, because I believe in being the woman, to nurture the woman that I am, you know, the woman that God has placed in me. I want to nurture it, and I don't want worldly things to come and taint it, to come and confuse me. Like, you know, I want to protect me at all costs, because that's all I have in this world, to be honest. That's all I have. Like, me being me is all that I have, and I have to protect it at all costs. Everything else comes and goes, you know. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.